meeting, and I'd like to ask Councilman Rustin to lead us in our invocation.
Sure, let us pray. Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to join as a group tonight. Lord, thank you for the change of seasons and the weather and the coolness outside, Lord. And what that signifies is part of the year that we're in. And I just ask you as we start another year and start the city just to be able to thrive again for another new year. I want to ask you just the things that are discussed tonight in the meeting be for the benefit of the city, the people that support it on a day-to-day basis, and be with all those families and people that are maybe hurting or sick out there this evening.
Amen.
Okay, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I'll let you guys take a look at the agenda, and I'll clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmember Lilly.
Here.
Mizell.
Here.
Rustin.
Here.
King. Here. Phillips.
Here.
Mayor Mitchell.
Here. And just a few more seconds to take a look at the agenda. Okay, first item as always, approval of the minutes of the October 1st regular council meeting. Everybody's received a copy of the minutes and has had an opportunity to look at those. Are there any corrections or deletions to the minutes? Okay, if not, let the record show the minutes are approved by unanimous consent. And we'll start with our department overviews, and Chief, Police Department.
Okay, so everything's going well with the police department. Everything's green. We're under 2025 budget, not 2024 budget. Actually down one personnel. I don't know why that says full, but either way, we've got one officer opening and we're still trying to fill. We're working on that. Besides that, everything's going well. Issues and concerns, again, is people not driving right around the school zone. So we added a school crosswalk at Mildred and Washington, and put another one up on Mildred at the band room, when the band room crosses over to the field house. That's kind of where we got some complaints of kids driving like some knuckleheads and people not paying attention. So we're hoping that, plus having officers in the area after school, will slow folks down.
Well, I actually had citizens tell me that they appreciated that had been done.
Yeah, thank you. That was Al's hard work, and the mayor helped us out with that one. Highlights and opportunities, of course, crosswalks, and then it's getting that time of year, so we're starting to do candy cane buddies. Applications will actually be accepted actually the 18th. That's not right either. So it's actually this Friday you can start picking up applications for people who wish to apply to receive benefits from the candy cane buddies. And then we'll have updates as that goes along. And we're going to let the applications go out 3 to 4, I think 6 weeks, and then they'll start bringing them back in and start putting the candy cane buddies on the trees. The trees are actually going to go up before Thanksgiving. There'll be one upstairs and one downstairs, so there'll be ample opportunity for you to be able to get a buddy either upstairs or downstairs, just whichever. Last year was another stellar year. We serviced several hundred kids. It's just something good to see the community come together and support these children that are just less fortunate. So anyway, everybody go out and get them a candy cane buddy, and we'll see what we can do again this year.
The crosswalks, are those painted or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it an age limit for the candy cane? I know, old people can, you know what I'm saying. How was that? Is it young?
I think high school age is as high as it goes, so probably 16, 17, probably the age limit.
We talked about some signage as well for those crosswalks. Do we have that yet?
I got them ordered.
Okay. And we also talked about speed bumps. Have we looked at location and type, or
Not
not
yet.
ask the paving guys?
I was waiting till you got through with the crosswalks and stuff.
You want to see a speed bump, go to the road heading to Calera High School. And them things are, I guarantee they're off the ground this high. And if you hit those things the wrong way, it is over. I mean, they are monsters, but they do the trick.
You won't cross it again,
Oh,
right?
it's like a ramp.
We, obviously, we would put some signage up. You know, there is, municipalities do have liability if there's not warning that speed bumps there. Speed limits need to be properly posted and that sort of thing, but if the city's done all that sort of stuff and somebody's not paying attention and they hit them, there's no liability for that, so we would need to get that. Any other questions for the chief? All right, thank you. Admin?
Everything is good in admin. We are preparing for our fiscal year 24, year end. We will close that out on October 25th. That'll be the last, date that we can pay invoices for fiscal year 24. So the bottom information, the top section is, general fund, and the bottom section is all other funds. And this is, September to date, so this is just a preliminary. The final, everybody will get final reports after October 25th when we close the year.
Questions for admin? Thank you. Municipal court?
Everything's going good. Not a whole lot going on. There will not be a driving school in October. The next one will be hopefully in November. We're just carrying on.
Okay. So you got a new budget, so you can probably turn that thing around now. For a little while anyway. All right. Any questions for Terry? All right, thanks. Public Works.
Everything's running good in Public Works right now. We, trying to wrap up with grass cut season, like I said the last time, and, I talked to the people that's got our brush truck, and they told me last Thursday or Friday that it would probably be about 3 more weeks. The insurance sent some more stuff they wanted them to check. They wanted them to check the rod bearings and mains and lower part of the motor since it laid on its side running a few minutes, and it got them, so they've got to replace them. And said it'd probably take them a couple of weeks, just depending on how long this stuff was in stock and everything as far as the parts. Still waiting on Allstate insurance on the accident of the pickup. It got hit in the rear and everything, to come look at it to see what they gonna either total it out or if they gonna fix it for it or what. I bought one pickup that I had in the budget to replace one of them out on the garbage route and everything, to put one of them beds up in. We bought it. It was a expired service truck. It was an office truck, but there ain't no scratches on it. And right now we're looking at approved for to buy chassis to put that bed on it, but I found a whole truck at Homewood's got in Chip Pierce's auction over there. I went over today and run it and operated it. Run good, operated good, didn't see no leaks, and we've got it set up. I'm gonna bid on it Thursday. It closes out at 6 o'clock. But other than that, we're just getting ready for the following year. We'll start working on gutters and stuff and sucking these leaves up when they start falling. Other than that, everything's running fine.
I don't know if this was when the issue happened with the brush truck, or if it happens recently, but the street sign at Sterrett and Main Street has.
Somebody hit it in a car up there, and I've got to get up there and I've got to order the 2 signs. I thought I had 2. I thought they'd done went by there and picked it up, but it may still be laying there. The other thing I meant to tell you, I didn't tell you either, they back out there working on their, at the shop, fixing that entrance. They brought their stuff in yesterday and they worked on it some today.
That's good, that's great.
So they're back out there doing that.
Any other questions for Alan?
How big of a new public works do?
125 by 225.
Say it again.
125 by
It's
225.
about 30,000 square feet.
And how many offices you put in there?
We'll have one office, a meeting room, a break room, and bathrooms.
Have you got an electrician on that yet?
he's getting the drawings, fixing to start getting the drawings ready to draw it up and everything.
Any other questions? All right, were there any boards that met since our last meeting?
Beautification Board met last Monday. And, everything's going good with us. Charlene just informed me that they've got things ready to turn the website on to purchase tickets for the tour of homes this year. We have 3 confirmed, 2 on hold, but we are expecting a good turnout. Very good
What's on
turnout.
hold?
They're making their final decision.
Okay.
If Lauren would like to do it, it'd be awesome.
Not this year.
Any other boards?
The planning board met. We had a public hearing for some properties on North Highland Drive that are currently no zoning, that the city initiated the, rezoning to R1. Those were voted on and passed, so they'll come to council the second meeting in November. I don't know the exact date. And then we approved an application from Zach Ellis. He bought, a piece of property behind Harvest Church there on West Side Lane, and it was subdivided. And he wants it, I think it was also no zoning, and it's gonna go to B2, which is all of his other property back there is B2. So that'll, be a public hearing with planning and zoning in November and come to council in December.
What, was it one parcel that was subdivided?
It was one parcel that was, yes, subdivided, and he bought the back part of it.
I'm surprised the North Highland wasn't zoned already.
Well, a lot of it was, but there's a strip of homes together that were no zoning. So,
We
and so we're
have,
doing
That
those
is
to
so
R1.
strange.
We have quite a bit on the perimeter of the city of property that's not zoned, and, anyway, is there a plan in place to get all of that zoned?
Yeah, so as we just go through and do like 3 or 4, 5 at a time, and Dale tries to keep them like in the same section and make sure that all of those are done, then he'll move to another section of town. And
That's a good idea.
All right.
That
any
board
other
works
boards?
hard. That board works hard.
Mhm.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, so we have before us a resolution for the installation of streetlights. We discussed one of them at this council meeting, and that was the streetlight on Jefferson Street near their high school. It's taken a while because when I contacted Alabama Power, they said they wanted to come out and meet with us and sort of do a streetlight assessment of the city. During the time we were waiting for that, we're contacted by some folks up at Kobe Lane, which is basically Shelby Ridge.
Oh.
I knew it was Shelby Woods. It's basically a retirement community as well. And they asked for a street light there at Kobe Lane and Highway 25. So we, Alabama Power came out last week finally, and we filled out the applications, and so hopefully they'll get on that pretty quick and get those 2 street lights up. So, anybody care to introduce this resolution?
I'd like to introduce Resolution 102403, a request for the installation of streetlights.
Second.
Okay. We don't need to do the roll call on this one. So, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so the resolution for the street lights is passed.
I got a question.
Yes.
In a certain subdivision, like for instance, my subdivision, across the street from me, got poles there, it's not one of the LED lights. It's an old, like a,
Executive light,
yeah. Can we just put a bulb in that?
that, they belong to the landowner.
So it's that, okay.
Cause that's, like out yonder at, Springs Crossing and Saddlewood, the city paid them, we got refunded, but we're paying the
Monthly service.
monthly service on them, so I don't know I guess that's something we gotta sit down and look at. If one of them goes out, if that's something we go, or if it belongs to the homeowner.
Well, let's take a look at that particular pole and see, is it on one of the regular light poles on the street?
No, it's a decorative pole.
One of those
It
black
wasn't
poles.
like the, it's not on a telephone pole type of deal, it's, I was just curious.
Talking about, did she get back with you, what me and you, I brought up in there about the intersections, did she ever say anything about them? At 25 and 70 and 25 and,
Oh, yeah, that's not theirs, yeah. I mean, so that's our responsibility, we belong to the power company. Okay, we have another resolution, for me to sign the traffic enforcement agreement with, ADECA. And we do this every year, and this is a big deal for us. So, basically, you wanna explain a little bit what that's about, Jeff?
Yeah, this just covers all of our DECA stuff, so the click it and ticket, drives over, get pulled over. I think they got a texting campaign, and I really can't remember the name behind it, I'm sure it's something catchy. But this covers all of our DECA for the year. Each month, we get X amount of dollars from ADECA to go out and enforce traffic laws, and, anyway, this is what, this document, or this, contract, basically, is how the officers get paid. They reimburse us for the overtime that the officers work. It's actually a great tool for us. It allows us to put more officers on the road, more visibility at no cost to the city. We're reimbursed 100% for this. I think Charlie can tell you a little bit more about exactly what we're reimbursed. I know it reimburses the officers' overtime salary.
And their, FICA.
Yeah, all their benefits as well. So it's no cost to the city, except for fuel and the wear and tear on the vehicles and some ticket paper. That's about it.
You said this is done one time a year?
Yeah, the contract's once a year, but it covers everything from October till next September.
Yeah.
I'll introduce resolution 102404, authorizing the mayor to sign a traffic enforcement agreement with ADECA.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, so the resolution passes. Okay, this is to award the bid for the wastewater treatment plant upgrades. I sent you guys a note on this. Obviously had some concerns because we didn't have all of the funding in place. Our city attorney found a provision in state law that allows us to be able to award the contract when we are anticipating the receipt of grant funding or federally funded loans. ADEM sent us some information showing that the entire project was eligible. We had some telephone conversations. You know, the grant money we've already received, the initial tranche of the $2.8 million in loan funding. I've asked them to go ahead and close on that. We talked to Mr. Apple from Apple Machine, or Apple, I think he says it. And he was okay with it, and that was a requirement. We had to put a disclosure in the contract that we were gonna do that. And so he's good to go with that. And so this resolution allows us to execute that contract. Anybody want to introduce this resolution?
I'll introduce resolution 102405, it's award bid wastewater treatment plant upgrades.
So,
Okay, this one I think we're gonna need to call roll.
Councilmember Lilly,
Yes.
Mizell,
Yes.
Rustin,
Yes.
King,
yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Mayor Mitchell.
One more item.
Oh,
It's local, but I can't
Birmingham.
remember exactly
I
where.
think Birmingham, I think. He's done some other sewer projects with us before.
They seem to be a very personal individual. Okay, Okay, any other city business anybody wants to bring up?
When y'all get a chance, don't forget to do those, cut down those shrubs in front of the city sign.
Thought we was a tree city.
Those are your shrubs, those don't count.
We're not a shrub city.
I'll dig them up, should have cut them down. We'll
That's
dig 'em
nice.
up for the-
Yeah.
You can leave the ones on each end, just as long as they're
Full
not.
of
Indian hawthorn.
Thank you. When you have
Everybody
time.
loves a comedian. Okay, so mayor's report, we had the Chamber Connections luncheon, we had some people who were nominated for these Star Awards, and we didn't have any winners, but we did have a couple that got some other awards. Leaders Corner was recognized as in the restaurant category, as far as other awards that they were giving out at the Connections luncheon. And they have chamber advocates that they recognize each time they do one of these luncheons, and Kathy Hitt was recognized as a chamber advocate for recreation and tourism. I went to the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee meeting down in Montgomery last week. It was informative, but we also got to inform them. They had the community relations manager for ALDOT was there, and he was kind of complaining about the fact that, you know, you had to do 3 separate bids and advertisement and separate newspapers for, you know, different length of time, and that if the papers failed to advertise it, you had to start the process all over it, and that was so complicated that it delayed a lot of their ALDOT projects, and he was wanting all the communities to sort of go to the legislature and encourage them to change that. And I'm sitting there thinking, I think they already did. And I came back, and Charlene actually had been to the training, had the piece of paper, and sent it back to them, let them know that you only have to do it once. And so Columbiana was kind of the hero there, thanks to Charlene. Okay. If you guys didn't go to Discover Shelby Fest this past weekend, you actually missed a good time. I talked to 2 of the business owners on Main Street. One of them said they were as busy as they were on Liberty Day. Another one said they had a great day. And the entertainment was really, really good. In fact, they had this sort of a headliner, if you want to call them, the closeout band, which is a Beatles cover band called The Return. And I got a kick out of them because, I mean, they had a left-handed Paul McCartney here, and they had, you know, George Harrison. Ringo and John didn't look so much with their wigs and outfits like the real, but Paul and George did, and they sounded good too. And then, after they did their early 60s Beatles stuff, they did the later Beatles with the longer hair and, you know, not so spiffy clothing and whatnot, and they were really good. So it turned out to be, I think, a real good event for us. On the 17th, I've been asked to go and welcome everybody as they register for the Alabama Bass Trail Team Championship. That's 5 o'clock at Old Mill Square. And the tournament is on Lay Lake on the 17th and the 18th. So hopefully I can encourage folks to, you know, visit our restaurants and watering holes and have a good time on the 17th before, hopefully not too good a time before they go out and I say 17th and 18th, I actually think that's the 18th. It's supposed to be the 18th and the 19th for the tournament. State of the County presentations on the 30th. I'm not going to be able to go to that because I'm going to this Municipal Leadership Institute. We have a table for 6 at that. If you haven't been to one and you can make it, I encourage it. Chad usually does a very good job, Chad Scroggins, of giving a presentation on the state of the county. It's very informative and an opportunity, obviously, to network with all the municipalities in Shelby County. As I mentioned, I'll be at the Municipal Leadership Institute. November 5th is the election day, and then moving on into November on the 13th, we'll be hosting the Shelby County Mayors Association here in Columbiana. That's about all the news I got. Any questions? Announcements. I guess you guys, we can just read that. The Alabama Bass Trail kickoff, just talked about that. Oh, the Farm to Table Dinner, if you haven't signed up for that, Saturday, October 26th. Monsters on Main on the 31st. Christmas Parade, and then the Christmas Tour of Homes that Kim was talking about earlier. Questions or comments on any of that? Any comments from anybody else? You don't get to say. You blew it. Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
I couldn't resist.
I didn't even hear